be sure to throw us some love over at Patreon at patreon.com/thecinemasnob. It is that time of year when I sit down for my giant year in film endeavor, which means you can see installments of The Cinema Snob's 1984 in film long before the whole thing is released. All that and more over at patreon.com/thecinemasnob.
Greetings, folks. Should probably pick up the microphone. I'm at a slightly different angle here since my mom was visiting in town last weekend while I was out at while I went to C2E2 last weekend. So we had it's the office / live streaming / guest room. So it's still pulled out, which means in the February. Which means you can tell the weekend that I shot the February portion of 1984 in film that's over on Patreon right now. I even addressed it in there. I'm like, well, I'm sitting here, company's in town for the weekend, so posters are a little farther in the back, seated forward. Actually, this angle is maybe not that bad. Hang on. Can maybe maneuver here? Try to make Axel Foley my good angel. There. Yeah, close enough. He's hitch. Stupid mirror. Okay. How do I? There we go. It's not exactly like looking in the mirror. He's just hitched back there a little bit. You will make the man fall for the banana in the tailpipe. You need to be more specific about that. But anyway, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, one, for being here, and thanks to everyone who came out to see us at C2E2 last weekend. It was a great weekend, and I know normally when I get back from something like that, as you can hear, it's still going on. The motorcycle races from the convention have made their way down here where I live. If you can hear that, the engine's going out there. Lord knows we can hear it at night. So, usually I sit here and I show you some of the things that I got at the con. Typically has to do with food. It's not usually memorabilia or anything like that, posters, movies, nothing like that when I go to the con. I am more so looking at the food tables, the hot sauce tables, certain T-shirt tables. I'll get to that here in a second. So, but it was hard to break away sometimes because we had 98% of the time we had people at the table. So didn't get out to stretch our legs that much and take a look at tables that were really far away from ours. It was a big convention. We would get there typically, in the mornings before it opened and kind of look around then. But we were seated in a fantastic spot because this year at C2E2, they put us, it was right next to the cafe, so we just had to walk about 20 feet to get a snack or something to drink. The stairs were there that went to the big bathroom section, and also there was the fudge table too. Thankfully, I didn't confuse that with the bathrooms downstairs, but picking up fudge to take home from, let's see, it's sitting right here, as you can tell by the name of this episode. That is one of the things I bought. It is the Chocolate Moonshine Company. Oh, it smelled very, very delicious. If I was in the mood for the dessert, the fudge table smelled delicious. If I was in the mood for lunch, the hot dog smelled fine. I'll go over there and get one. Oh, the line's too long. Well, I guess the giant pretzels smell good now too. But, ooh, rib sandwich. Well, that'll be my little treat on Sunday. No, so I did end up getting a T-shirt. Usually at C2E2, there's one that I always really, really love going to. Typically, if I come home from a shirt, it's from them, and that's Pizza Party Printing, I believe is what they're called, where you've seen me wear their shirts, like the Frasier ripping Niles in half, a Pizza the Hut shirt that I got one year. I have a Lloyd the Bartender from The Shining shirt that I got from them. Granted, I couldn't go down every single aisle this time, so I didn't see them. I don't know if they were there or not, but I didn't see them this time. But when when we got back from one of the panels, I'm walking back. I see a T-shirt stand right there. It isn't the one I was looking for, but it had one that I definitely wanted to get, and it's this shirt that I'm wearing right now that just simply, in bold letters, announces, "Daddy is a state of mind." I'm a daddy now. I have to get that shirt. I don't I don't know if this would be at the same table that I would have gotten the Pizza the Hut shirt from, but Daddy is a state of mind. Hilarious. Of course I'll get this when I go out on walks with my son, while my son is sitting there going, "I don't think Daddy knows the context of certain words." Oh, I do, but it's an important lesson, son. If you see a shirt that's hilarious, ironic or not, you must get it. So I had to get the Daddy is a State of Mind shirt that I'm wearing right now and have been wearing as a pajama shirt for days. So we'll be trying the fudge here in a second. Right, because I also like going to the hot sauce tables. And I do know that there was a hot sauce table there this year. I just never made it past it, but there was a guy who came up to the table who had bought some hot sauce from him, and I look at it like Homer Simpson meeting George Harrison, like, "Oh my God, where'd you get that brownie?" I didn't end up making. He pointed. He told me the aisle number or the table number or something like that, but it's a big con. I didn't have a compass with me. I would have gotten lost and you'd find my skeleton in the bathrooms downstairs. I didn't really want to do that, but when I walked over to the fudge table, there was one that I was like, that one will do. Don't know if it's something that I'll snack on, but it's something that'll give me a thing to talk about on the live stream, which is this yellow block right here. This is Mango Habanero Fudge. Hang on. Let me sniff it some more because it does look like something else. I brought this back to the table and was like, guys, they had Mango Habanero Fudge there. I don't know if that sounds good or not, but it might have some kind of reaction if I try it on camera. They're looking at me like, "You idiot. They clearly just sold your dumbass a big block of cheese." Like, well, first of all, no, they didn't. I'm not going to fall for that again. And even if I do, that's okay. Joke's on you. I've got expired crackers up in the fridge. They shouldn't be expired. I'm keeping them in the fridge, apparently. It's what's weirder than having a big box of expired crackers sitting there. For some reason, I just said that I'd keep them in the fridge, so they don't go stale and spoil. I can put, if this does turn out to be cheese, then I'll have something to put that on. Maybe it would also be fine on a cracker too. Mango habanero cheddar, not bad. So I had Laura gets home from work right before I go on the live stream. I have this sitting there on the kitchen table. She looks at it and she just goes, "Your cheese is looking kind of bad. Are you really planning on eating that?" Like, well, you should see the crackers. Don't look in the cabinet. They're in the fridge, apparently. So I was like, no, that's my that's my that's my mango habanero fudge. She's like, "Oh, okay, right. You did have something else that's stupid." Yeah, wait, you haven't tried it. It might be all right. I tend to like certain things better than Laura does. Recently, I tried out those Sour Patch Oreos that I really liked a lot. Her, not so much. She tried it and was like, "Ew," and I'm going into it like with low expectations because of that. And I was like, "Oh, not bad. A nice fruity, slightly sour slightly sour Oreo." I took the remaining ones to the convention with me, and they were a really big hit there. But anyway, back to the fudge. Which there was a brief moment where my wife thought I was just going to sit there eating a block of cheese. She did say that. She goes, "I was wondering why you just be sitting there eating cheese." "Oh, why do that when I could just sit here and eat a big eat a big block of habanero mango fudge. Pull that apart. It's easier to pull apart than cheese. If it does turn out to be cheese, though, I might have some expired chili, too, that I could pour on top of it. I don't know how this is going to go. I don't know if this is going to be mild, if it's going to get a reaction. I'm preparing on it being mild, to be perfectly honest. But I was like, that gives me the title of the video, Mango Habanero Fudge. Maybe it'll give us a reason to all hang out. All right, let me get through this, then we'll do the Tox Box. And for those in the comments who are like, he tries it here, there you go. You got the time code. All right. Dude. Oh my god. Oh. God. Excuse me. It passes the hiccup. It passes the hiccup test. Jesus. Oh. Oh. Oh my god. Oh. Oh, there's my knife. So when I was pulling it apart, I was sitting there like, I thought I had grabbed a knife so I could cut it with. So at least I'd look a little bit more dignified. So at least I'd look a little bit more dignified than just sitting there on camera in a daddy shirt pulling apart a thing of fudge. Whew. Any you motorcycles guys out there got some whiskey? You cyclists out there are always salty. I hear salt helps. So it's hot. I didn't know, man. Like, when I get something that's mango habanero flavored, it's usually a potato chip or something like that, or it's like a flavor of chicken fry at Burger King. I'm having a problem with words now, you guys. Oh, right. I remember my thought. It doesn't matter if I had the knife or not. I sure as shit am not looking dignified right now. Oh, God. Laura's going to be dealing with a hiccupy husband and a hiccupy baby tonight. Oh, wait, no, she won't. Because on the last episode, let's see if I can do story time right now. That might be funny. Like I tell my son, if it's hilarious, get a daddy shirt, eat some spicy ass fudge. Now I know why fudge can sometimes be used as a curse word. So, alright. Because it's making me want to say the 4-letter words. In the chat, got milk? Why stop being stupid at just eating the fudge? And a fairly big piece of it, too, that I did. Why stop at that? I should also be stupid as to not bring any milk in here with me. It'll go away eventually. Unfortunately, my coffee is also going away, too. So, last week's episode, when I was talking about that I had Jack in the over. It was my few days to have Jack in the middle of the night to wake up, do his feedings, change him and all that. And he started sleeping through the night. There was a couple of nights there when, yeah, he slept right through. We got up really early in the morning. Laura's joking, like, watch, when it's me over the weekend and I'm getting up in the middle of the night, he's going to be crying through then again. I'm like, oh, honey, he doesn't know. He doesn't plan things like that. That's not going to happen. It totally happened. But maybe she got her revenge on me. Maybe this was mild, and she put the source in it. Or Mr. Ass Reaper, Mr. Pain, Doctor of Pain, whatever the hottest ones in there are. Dr. Butcher, MD, Hot Sauce. God damn. This is giving me... I'm all right with words. I'm okay. I can string out parts of sentences. God damn. This is harming my words and causing even more brain fog than when I had long COVID. That long COVID's bad and all, but have you ever eaten spicy fudge? So Jack was a little noisier in her nights, and I go. She goes, no, she says to me, she goes, what are you doing that's different from me? I'm like, well, I let him watch Porky's. If you sleep through the night, son, we'll watch School Spirit. You're not ready for Screwballs yet. You just turned 7 months. That's an 8-month thing. So, or maybe he just pretends to be sleeping. He's like, if I'm awake right now, I'm going to have to hear my dad talk about the Porky's series. Maybe he actually doesn't like Porky's. He just doesn't want to hear me talk about it. So he's in there pretending to sleep. Baby also could have gotten his revenge too. You know, the thing that every parent goes through when you accidentally get Gerber ghost pepper flavor off of the shelves. You snook it into my fudge, son. So, as for actually, like, reviewing this, again, I actually thought it would be mild. Because, again, I guess, you know, if it were mango habanero and was at, like, a big national chain, you know, like a burger joint or something like that, or like a chip flavor that you get from the store, yeah, I guess it probably would be a little bit more mild. Credit where credit is due. They delivered on their product, man. Seriously. Like, I give kudos. Again, I want to give a shout out to the company. This is, let me cool off my tongue by sticking it right on the engine outside. Chocolate Moonshine Company, where they did have moonshine flavored chocolate there. Could have chased this with that. So, all right. She did say to me when I bought this, she goes, it's very spicy. And I like, sold. I'll take it anyway. Even if you told me it was mild, I'll still take it. Again, I thought, you know, I've had people say that to me when I got like the I don't know, the ghost pepper donut or something from Dunkin' Donuts, where they're like, it's really spicy, and then I get home and it's as spicy as air. Like, so this, no, she was right. She had a very proper warning. I'm not looking forward to the kind of fudge it's gonna make later on in the evening. As for the taste, the taste does work too. It goes through some different stages, like the spice, although when it gets to its hottest point, it kind of does happen a little quick. But first biting into it, it tasted like fudge with habanero hot sauce kind of mixed into it. Like it did have that flavor to it. Then the more it got into it, the more I was tasting the mango, was tasting the fudge. All of this was happening, by the way, in a short period of time. The tastes of the hot sauce, the taste of the mango, the very fudge taste to it. It was there. It really was. But it is very spicy. So not long after that, you're really just thinking about the spice. It does make this it makes it a challenge you would do with your friends. I mean, there's way more severe challenges you could do. The one chip challenge, world's hottest gummy bear, stuff like that. But this is spicier than average. It got a pretty big reaction. If this is something where you can kind of pass it around and be like kind of jokey, like, you want to try the mango fudge. I do recommend it. If you're instantly put off by it, I don't think trying it is going to surprise you at all, except for maybe the spice level of it. But if it's already something where it's like you like trying interesting spicy flavors, different types of fudge too, taking out the spice part, even if it was just like, a mango fudge, if like something simple like that would pique your interest, and then adding spice on top of that, this would be worth it if you got it. I don't know where the actual like store is, but maybe you could buy it online. Maybe they have a website. But again, kudos to them. Seriously, that was good. Chocolate Moonshine Company. Chocolate Moonshine Company is what it's called. What else did I have planned to talk about tonight? January and February portions of 1984 in film are over at patreon.com/thecinemasnob. I added an uncut version of the Porky's episode to the store over there. Right now, that's the only thing that's in the store, but I want to kind of add some more stuff in there in the future. I'm thinking I'll do some exclusive episodes that I could put in the store on there. Stuff that you would have seen like back in the blip days that, again, I could kind of show uncut this time. Like maybe finally do an episode of Erotic Adventures of Pinocchio or something like that. Don't know how soon that would happen. That's one of the things that I want planned for that, because I am starting. I just finished Tequila and Benetti. It's also on Patreon right now. It'll go up Monday. Yeah, Monday that goes up. It was a con weekend last weekend. Also, I have a hot fudge brain, so it's gonna travel down south before I know it, and I hope to God it's not in the middle of here. Again, my son getting revenge on me. We had a meeting the other day. all of us from the site had a meeting the other day. We were on Skybed, Jack sitting on my lap. I'm like, whoa, gotta step away from a second, you guys. I can tell Jack just pooped his pants. They're sitting there like, Brad, what did we tell you? You get him started on White Castle later. Take his diaper off. This looks familiar. I recognize that kind of poo. All right. We also got a poll going on right now on Patreon too. So I'm toying with this as well, making polls for the movies that are coming out over the weekend. Like, which one should I go see? Always hoping that I get sent to some bullshit. Since I'm working on my second book right now, and also extra stuff to do on Patreon, the Snob episodes, 1984 in film. Being a daddy now, of course. And I just, you guys will like this, I finished up Tequila and Benetti, just wrote an episode the other day on the first episode of Manimal. So you'll be seeing that too. I got that all written out. It is great revisiting Manimal again. So let's go ahead and do the poll. The poll for an upcoming Cinema Snob episode. I'm going to have to look and actually see what the date will be that this particular drawing will air, because Monday will be the final episode of Tequila and Benetti, and then after that, Porky's Revenge. I'm going to be doing Porky's Revenge. So this will be for the episode that would air after Porky's Revenge. But again, you'll get it like a week early over on Patreon. Okay, and then we'll do the super chat after that. I feel okay. I feel good. I feel good. I don't want to go back for seconds. I don't want to go back for seconds, but I feel all right. Okay. I need to actually, like, it's gotten to the point where, like, I am adding stuff to the Tox Box, but, when I write down something to add to it, I have to think to myself, is it a choice that's already in there? Like, I wrote down, like, popcorn and threw it in there, but I still had to think, like, is popcorn already a choice that's in there? I need to take a day and actually look and see everything that's in here. There's a lot. There's a bunch, and somehow the same few get picked every time. But there's a lot in here. All right. This will be your choices over on Patreon, patreon.com/thecinemasnob, to vote for. Oh, yeah, and it'll be the first one with that new stock fifth choice. What do we got here? Oh, Scream 3. Okay, sure, why not? Who knows when I'd be able to do a tie-in episode if they're ever going to make another Scream movie again. So, sure, Scream 3, that'll be a choice. Oh, well, this... It's actually interesting I got this one. Okay, this actually is the short that I put up the other day that I got from 1962 in film. I've been taking, like, those bits, which I usually do for the year-end reviews. I take those bits, sometimes make shorts out of them. It gives, the big year-end episodes some extra promotion and everything. Gives me some stuff to put over on Twitter as well. So the one that I did the other day was for... there was a movie called Safe at Home. It was a baseball movie with Mickey Mantle and Roger Maris, where it's kind of one of those, like, kid runs away to meet his heroes movie. In this case, Mickey Mantle and Roger Maris under the training of their coach, William Frawley. I don't know if that part's true, that William Frawley was their coach. When I came across this in 1962 in a film, I was like, this movie escaped me. Like, this is my first time coming across this. And my dad's a big baseball junkie, like huge. My dad's a big sports guy, but huge into baseball. So I'm like, do you know of this movie, Safe at Home, with Roger Maris and Mickey Mantle? He's like, I don't think I remember that really. He goes, I kind of remember them being in a movie, but I don't think I saw it. I go, oh, it looked like their acting in it looked like the kind that you expect out of athlete acting movies. Like, hey, come on, coach, what are you doing? You should. The kid might learn a thing or two. You should go ahead and give him a turn at the mound. Like, I'm sure that's how they talked in real life. Safe at Home, the second choice. Okay, I don't think that'll win, but it'll be there. Okay. Oh, again, like I said, the same few getting picked every time, or at least there's something on there aside from stock fifth choice, something on there where it's like, this has been on there quite a few times before. There's literally over like 100 movies in here, but again, this was on the poll last time too. Carnosaur 3 wants a turn in there. Why should Scream 3 be the only part 3? Oh, okay, cool. Right on. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. Pumpkinhead. I'll have to dig out my VHS for that. That was one of the first VHSs that I ever got with my own money. And was so happy to get it too. It had that amazing cover that sticks out like a sore thumb with its big giant claw hand that is the source of the sore thumb. Pumpkinhead. Good movie. Really, really, really good movie. Okay, so not a bad wait, hang on. It broke my heart doing this to finally say goodbye to Something Short of Paradise, which I hope you guys dug that episode, by the way. I had a good time making the Something Short of Paradise episode. It did give me enough material to work with. I don't know if there's necessarily anything in it that would turn into a running gag, you know what I mean? Like Diane Wiest blowing herself up in the house in Independence Day 83, or Saul in Windy City. I don't know if Something Short of Paradise really has anything like that in it, but it still gave me plenty to work with. So I was glad. I was like, after a couple of years that this thing was on the poll, I'm glad I could get some material out of it. I really hope you guys liked that episode too. I hope you thought it was worth the wait. So, taking its place, needed something to take its place, and I knew it was going to be this movie. I had it in my head for probably over a year that this was going to be the movie that would take its place, but Something Short of Paradise was on there for so long. We'll see how long this one lasts, and here it is, your stock fifth choice, the late 1980s drama, Square Dance, country girl goes to city movie. I'm guessing there is square dancing involved. This kind of plot needs an old man. Gotta have it. Jason Robards has to be contracted to be the old man in it. And most importantly, she bonds with and forms a relationship with Rob Lowe as a mentally challenged man. So, Square Dance, your part 5. I need to throw up a quick promo for this too. We do have another con coming up, by the way. If you missed us at C2E2, you can come see me over at Planet Funk Con. That's over around in the Quad Cities, June 28th through the 30th. We'll be there all weekend long. Got plenty of books, DVDs. I'm going to try to actually bring some headshots this time, too. Yeah, I'll have signed copies of my book and everything. We do Planet Funk Con every year. Marcus, who runs it, is a great guy. I always love doing his show. So if you're going to be in the area, you want to come see me at Planet Funk Con, head on out there. It's a nice, really chill con. We always dig it. There was one year they put us in a casino hotel. That was awesome. Okay. All right. Well, let's see. That's it for the poll. So we got Scream 3, Safe at Home, Carnosaur 3, Pumpkinhead, and Square Dance. I kind of don't know which one will win. I have a guess, but not like it's like, oh, it's a lock. That one will. We'll see. I'm curious how this one plays out. Once I finish the stream, I'll head over. I'll put it on Patreon. Patreon.com/thecinemasnob. All right, let's go ahead and get to you guys' super chat questions. I see we've already got a pretty good amount in there, which is awesome. Thank you so much for that, by the way. Thank you for coming here, hanging out with us. I'm glad I could give you a good reaction with the habanero, sorry. Don't want to be disrespectful. The mango habanero. Don't want to disrespect the mango. The mango habanero fudge. Every time I say that, I don't know if it's happened so far. I keep thinking I'm accidental. My eyes are making me want to say cheese. Maybe I've accidentally done it so far. I don't know. But it like every time I look at this and say mango habanero fudge, there is a part of my brain that is slightly veering off into saying cheese until making that quick dip into the off ramp and saying fudge. Okay. Alright, let's go ahead and get to your super chat questions. Alright, here we go. Widen the window a little bit. I don't need to see me in the monitor. I know what I look like. I look better after the, I don't look quite so pathetic. Crying because of the, crying because of the cheese. I did it. He finally went off on the wrong side of the road and crashed into oncoming traffic. I accidentally said cheese. Hang on, sorry, just trying to get up to the top of oh, there we go. Okay, we're there. All right. This is long enough so I can see the name. Hang on. All right, here. Okay, Eclectic Ennui. Sorry, it was cutting off right at the top. It was covering up your name, so I had to Now I gotta widen it again. Okay. Eclectic Ennui. What's the name of the theme song that goes, I'm watching my video, and who does the song? I'm watching my video. Yeah, great. That is now one of my favorite theme songs of all time. Whose theme is that for? Effing me. Okay, so I forget who does the song. I know where you can find it, though. That song is from a montage in Getting It On. I did a snob episode on that last year. It's a double feature episode, is with Getting It On and My Tutor. And there's a montage in it where they're getting their videotapes, their video equipment, they're renting it out. It's a very inspiring montage of these young entrepreneur high school students who are starting their business of secretly videotaping the girls in the neighborhood and selling it. See, it's a very 1983 business. The principal let him off with a stern warning. Anyway, when I heard this song play in it, I forget who does it. I'm sure if you look at the soundtrack listing on IMDb, it'll probably say. I was like, this tune is kind of kicking. Like, it really does sound like it'd be a TV show theme. It should be my new theme. And when I did the Getting It On My Tutor episode, I posted it as a premiere. So, like, a chat could watch it with me. And when it got to that part where I was showing the scene that I'm watching my video is in, I wrote on there, and in all due seriousness, like, I wrote on there, like, I am actually considering making this my theme song. And somebody did respond and go, like, please don't. You gave me my answer. I'll get it stuck into your head where you'll love it. I don't use it all the time, though. I use it for, like, longer episodes, you know, like Dune. It's in front of Dune. It's in front of like the Shining miniseries. It was probably in front of Roadhouse. It's in front of the last couple, actually. I put it in front of Porky's so that when I get done with all the Porky's episodes and put them all in a big compilation for, like, if I got to go out of town or something like that, it'll already have, like, the theme song in front of it. I put it in I put it in Something Short of Paradise because I wanted to add an extra commercial break in there because I had to make up for, like, lost time from when I was sick and could only do, like, shorts for a couple of weeks. So it was in that, but it's not in Porky's 2, and it won't be in Porky's Revenge. I don't think I didn't put it in Tequila and Benetti either. So that's, yeah, you should be able to find it if you just look for Getting It On soundtrack. Eclectic NUA again. Have you seen, hang on. Have I seen Civil War? No, I didn't. I want to, because I hear at least, like, the last half hour of it is pretty insane. No, that came out, was I sick? Or that might have been the weekend where, like, top priority was the Tiger Shroff the new Tiger Shroff movie. So I went to go see that instead. I can't miss a Tiger Shroff movie in theaters, even if it's something terrible like Gonapath. But the Tiger Shroff movie I saw a couple weeks ago was actually pretty awesome. So no, I miss Civil War. I will see it, though. It'll probably just be on streaming, in which case I'll do, like, a short on it or something like that. I've heard it's good. People I know who went to go see it dug it. I don't know they loved it necessarily, but they liked it. They said that it's got a pretty memorable third act. John Bondi, will there be a redeeming love episode? There should be. This crazy ass movie that we went to go see a couple of years ago, where it was a faith-based movie where a hooker in the Old West falls for a guy and she changes her hooker ways, but then Eric Dane shows up as, like, a child predator. That movie got crazy. Like, it was like watching it. It was like watching a faith-based PG-13 version of what 40 years ago would have been like a canon Bo Derek movie, if that makes sense. Like, you kind of got to see it, but I haven't done it as an episode yet. I should, because there was a lot of material in that. I haven't done it as an episode yet because it's a long movie. It's like 2 hours and 20 minutes or something like that. So I'd have to divide that up into a couple of days. And right now those extra days are for one, my book, and two, 1984 in film. But I really I really should do something on that. It was bad, but it was one of my favorite movie-going experiences the year that came out. I didn't regret watching that at all. Campbellzilla, would you ever do episodes on the Revenge of the Nerds movies? I talk about Revenge of the Nerds a little bit in 1984 in film. All right, I haven't filmed that part yet, but it's a 1984 movie, so it'll be in there for sure. I've always kind of wanted to do the sequels. I love Revenge of the Nerds. I grew up with it. Like, it's one of my earliest memories of, because that came out in '84. So it's one of, maybe it's not my earliest memory of watching a comedy, but it's one of the I used to watch it for as long as I can remember. Like, I would have that movie on tape and I would watch it quite a bit. And so it would be on just some tapes of like comedies that I would watch on repeat. My parents really did let me watch anything. So no, movies very, I get, not everyone today's not gonna like it. There's some things where today, like, well, that would probably be written a little bit differently. It's still a big important part of my life. I still love it. I still watch it. I can still crack up at the jokes and the characters and everything. So I still dig the movie. It helps if you grew up with it, probably, but there are a lot of great qualities to it. Anyway, the sequels I always kind of wanted to do, because even as a kid I was so into the first one that I still kind of like the second one a little bit. If any, there's important things that happen in the second movie. Ogre has his arc where he becomes a nerd, kind of taking like Gable's arc sort of from the first one. There's like deleted scenes from the first one where Stan Gable is secretly a nerd. But at the end of Nerds 2, Ogre, he drinks the disgusting punch that Booger and his buddy make, and everyone else spits it out, but Ogre, he like downs it, perfects his nerd laugh, becomes a nerd, they high-five, freeze frame, end credits. After Robert Carradine, they drive a tank through the town, and he punches Bradley Whitford. There's good stuff that happens in Revenge of the Nerds 2. It's not as good as the first one. One question that I always had about the second one was, it very much implies that Lewis and Betty are still together. Like, Julie Montgomery's not in it, but like he's packing her picture with him when they go to Florida, and so it implies they're like still together. But then he ends up with Courtney Thorne Smith at the end of the movie. But in the third one, he and Betty are married. Louis Skolnick's got some flaws. But Robert Carradine's so good in that role, though. I remember how disappointed I was when I saw the third movie. I remember being like, oh man, Betty's back. Stan Gable is back. This is going to be great. I know it's made for TV, but this is going to be great. Me and my dad watched that movie. We're very disappointed. Oh, we watched the whole thing. It's like I also watched Revenge of the Nerds 4, Nerds in Love, because it came out during 3D week when it aired on television. We went out to Wendy's to get 3D glasses. We might as well watch the movie, in which it has like a 3D bachelor party sequence or something like that. I was thinking about Revenge of the Nerds 3 the other day when we were watching Seinfeld, and the part with the video store where there's the Vincent section that's all like the art films that Elaine likes. She always rents stuff from the Vincent section, and then there's the Gene section that has Weekend at Bernie's too. And if you look at the Gene section, one of the tapes up there is Revenge of the Nerds 3. He doesn't have the first one on there. He doesn't even have the second one on there. No, Gene picks the made-for-television Revenge of the Nerds 3, The Next Generation, as his pick. That's something I would do to be a dick. I worked at a video store, and we had our own sections like that, and we would kind of do that sometimes. But Gene seemed kind of genuine when Elaine actually met him. He really likes bad sequels. Bad comedy sequels. At least Weekend at Bernie's 2 is theatrical. No, I'll be talking about nerds. I'll be talking about nerds in the 1984 in film episode, and then maybe I'll do like the sequels. I should. That would actually be kind of fun. Campbellzilla, for your next stock poll choice after Square Dance, I'd suggest the 1985 Ryan O'Neal gambling drama Fever Pitch, which is known for its panned ending. Yeah, that's actually a really good idea. I'm gonna try to remember that, because that's a movie that's got the rare 0 stars from Roger Ebert that he gave to Fever Pitch. Ryan O'Neal did some weird movies in the 80s, man. There was Partners with him and John Hurt. That's the buddy cop movie where it's the gist is one's straight, the other's gay. Will they ever get along and solve this crime? Let's see how they do living with each other first. It's basically a comedy cruising, but so much of a sitcom that actually James Burrows directed it. Ryan O'Neal had that, and then he did that one, what was it called? The one where he invents assless pants. Damn it, I forget what that's called. Hot Rear, or is it got hot in the title? The chat will remember. You'll remember the pants ass movie with Ryan O'Neal. Yeah, Ryan O'Neal had some interesting choices back then, man. But yeah, Fever Pitch. That's actually a pretty good idea. I'm gonna keep my eye on the chat to see if that title comes up. Is it called a hot something? Hot pants? I don't know. All right, James Moyner. So fine. That's it. So fine. Cool. Although I kind of like the misspelling that Jet Screamer had. The movie is called So Fine, S-O Fine, but he spelled it so S-E-W Fine. That's actually kind of a more clever title if it was spelled like that. That would sound like a fake movie from Seinfeld. James Moyner, who's your favorite Winnie the Pooh character? I feel as though you would be someone like Rabbit or Gopher. When I was a kid, it was probably Tigger, because he's hyper, and I've had ADD as long as I can remember. You got to be specific though. We talking about the horror movie or the cartoon? It's the horror movie. Do I even have a favorite character in the? Well, I guess I kind of like Owl in the second Winnie the Pooh horror movie. That was like that felt like a comic book villain out of like that would be in like the DCEU. Cartoons though, yeah, I guess Rabbit, because I'd probably want to be left alone while all these shenanigans are going on. Kind of on Rabbit's side as I get older. Tigger doesn't need to be bouncing around and doing shit like that with the rabbits wanting to tend to his garden, jumping through there, messing up his carrots. I'd be pissed. I'd want him to, I don't care if he's stuck in a tree or not. I'd want him to stop that bouncing shit. Go do it what's a tiger doing here anyway? John Bondi. Did you ever see God Bless America? I personally thought it was better than Natural Born Killers. That's a hot take I have. Yes, I did. Is that the one with Joel Murray? I did see that. And I think I did an old vlog on it. And I think I kind of liked it. I don't remember liking it like I don't remember thinking it was better than Natural Born Killers. Um, but I do kind of remember Bobcat Goldthwait directed it, didn't he? Um, I think the criticism that I had, I think who was his co-star? I remember thinking his co-star was annoying. The character, yeah, who plays the girl who's on the trip with him. Maybe I'm wrong, but I kind of recall not liking that character very much. But overall, I sort of remember liking it. I haven't thought about that movie in a long time. I hope I'm talking about the same movie. um, I'm keeping an eye on the chat too. Jeff Screamer, have you seen Color of Night? All-star romp. No, it isn't. It's not Road to Wellville. Oh, my mistake. The movie where Joel Murray is going around shooting people he doesn't like. Cross country killing spree. I forgot. Right. It's Road to Wellville. Oh, anyway, Color of Night. Yeah. I actually kind of like Color of Night. If you look at it like this, when I saw Color of Night, I saw it when it came out, but it kind of got lost in that sea of the erotic thrillers of the early mid 90s, and there were some that just stood out more, whether it was of course Basic Instinct, or even some crazy shit like Body of Evidence, or whatever Shannon Tweed and Andrew Stevens are in on that Friday night on Cinemax. So anyway, I saw it, but I kind of didn't retain a lot of it. And then watching it later, years and years and years later, I did kind of enjoy it because it did have this very kind of crazy ass giallo feel to it. If you go into it with that mindset, this is the kind of craziness you'd see in a 70s giallo movie that would have an animal in the title for no reason. She listens like the quiet wolf, it'd be called that for no reason whatsoever. Then the movie, it actually kind of works. I like it in that mindset, and it did kind of go for it with its twist. The twist is easy to predict, but I admire that they kind of go for it. And there's some crazy ass sex scenes in it, and there's poor Scott Bakula not making it that far in the movie, and there's some shit with a snake in a mailbox or something in that movie. It's all right. It's all right. I appreciate it was Bruce Willis doing something different when it came out. Hado. Been a patron and subbed for years. Thank you very much. Just wanted to say I really enjoy the Cinema Snob and being able to stay with your channel as it grows. Thank you. Thanks for contributing to us over on Patreon. Hope you dig the polls and all the early access stuff over there. And it's got a big number 3 next to your name. So guessing it is your third time making a super chat. I usually see that for 1 or 10 or something like that. I don't know if I've ever seen that for 3, but happy third super chat. And thank you for your support, Soli. That means a lot. Jacob Matthew Crawford, evening, Brad. What would you say to doing a double feature episode of Big Trouble and Little China and The Fifth Element? Both are wonderfully wacky. That I don't know if I would if I'm hanging out Laura and I were ordering some food on a Saturday night or something like that. I would watch a double feature of it in that sense. I don't know if I would do a snob episode on either of those. There's just stuff I would rather get to before then. And double feature episodes, I prefer if I were to do Big Trouble in Little China as a double feature episode, I would pair it with some kind of knockoff or something that is Z grade, but maybe has like some similar elements. Same with Fifth Element. Like Fifth Element paired with, I don't know, Star Odyssey. If I hadn't done Star Odyssey already, it would be a case like that. Like not like two big ones put together. I like both of those movies. I do. I dig the hell out of them. I would, like, before Big Trouble, I would probably do like Escape from LA before I would do Big Trouble in Little China. And with Fifth Element, I'd probably do Color of Night before I would do Fifth Element. But no, both are cool movies for sure. John Bondi, did you see the South Park Not Suitable for Children episode? It has Randy Marsh doing OnlyFans. It was hilarious. Is that the... No, you know what? I don't think I have. There's like one that I have, one of those specials that I haven't seen. Not that I was avoiding it or anything like that. Just a case of it came out and just kind of forgot. Like maybe I had to watch other stuff that weekend, and then we just sort of forgot. That happens a lot now. So there was like all of the specials we've seen, but I don't remember. I think that was the one that we accidentally missed because I don't remember the OnlyFans thing. I'll mention that to her when we go out there and be like, hey, I think we missed a South Park. Thanks for reminding us, by the way. Okay. Drunken Buddha. Did you ever think of... Okay. Remember from like an episode or two ago that I need new glasses bad. So this says, did you ever think of spotlighting any of the Emmanuel movies? I had to kind of squint because at first I thought it said, did you ever think of shoplifting any of the Emmanuel movies? Like, well, sure, if it was like 1991. Wait a minute, I don't need to shoplift the Emmanuel movies. I had Cinemax growing up. There's going to be a certain point during the month where one of them will be on. It could be the second one where they're doing acupuncture in the nipples. It could be the fourth one. I don't know like how much that was related to anything else other than there were some where they were putting clips in Emmanuel the series. Now, Emmanuel the series showed all the time on Cinemax. Emmanuel the series was an older Sylvia Christel on an airplane where she is sitting next to George Lazenby. No joke. She's sitting next to George Lazenby. They're on, I guess, a long flight in which she is telling him these hot stories from her youth, and then it flashes back and there's some Emmanuel stuff and lots of nudity and beautiful scenery that she's describing to George Lazenby. And George Lazenby would probably come back like, she'll be like, well, what's your life been like? And he'd be like, I got married, and on the day I was married, my wife was shot. I am in this canon, he is also James Bond, by the way. No, actually, that would make more sense. I remember how this series ended. So, Emmanuel is telling all of these sex stories to George Lazenby, which has never happened to me on a plane. And if it did, it would be something I wouldn't want to hear, like the plot of Private Lessons. Why are you telling me this? So, is this student of yours okay? So... if George Lazenby turned out to be Bond in this show, that would have made more sense. Because here's what I remember. I remember at one point, she gets up to go to the bathroom and comes out and she's young. Like it's a younger person playing Emmanuel. George Lazenby gets up and does the same. I guess neither one of them wanted to do a sex scene. So... Lazenby comes out, it's a younger guy playing him. I don't remember either one of them looking like a young Sylvia Christel or George Lazenby. But, yeah, then they, like, bang on the airplane. It's like a whole series based around this guy on a plane listening to these stories and being like, she's gonna stop bullshitting. This is gonna lead to the Mile High Club, right? I don't think the show lasted more than a season, so I don't know if they made their connecting flight. So yeah, okay, spotlighting the Emmanuel movies. Yeah, I probably would. More maybe that's something I would do uncut and put it in the store or something. Maybe. I don't know how much material there is to work with if you're having to cut around all the nudity. I could probably do it fine. Um I'd throw the Black Emmanuel movies in there too. The Laura Gemser ones, some of the Joe D'Amato ones and everything. Freaking Emmanuel in America is insane. That's a talk about a radical change of tones in that movie. Emmanuel in America has like zaniness sometimes where there's like a harem at one point, and then it'll go into a plot about the most graphic, like fake snuff film footage you've ever seen in your life. So much so, I think the producers were sued over it. But yeah, that happens in Emmanuel in America. The best of those was Women's Prison Massacre, the Bruno Mattei one. That was really good. Emmanuel and the Cannibals is all right. That's got a scene where Emmanuel, like, I'm sure having sex. I guess there wasn't cannibals around, but there was a monkey watching. There's a part with a chimpanzee who's watching him have sex, and he decides to put on some 80s shades and lights up a cigarette, as if the director is trolling you and being like, I want you to accidentally climax at this moment. Senor Sticks, now that you're family friendly, will you get sponsors? um, I don't know how I just spent a whole live stream crying because of Spicy Fudge, in which I'm sure I cursed a couple of times, and then drifted off into a story about George Lazenby banging Sylvia Christel on an airplane while she told sex stories. I don't know if I'm quite family friendly yet, other than occasionally there's a Sesame Street episode. Um, no, hey, like, yeah, that would be cool to get some sponsors. Um, Jacob Matthew Crawford, hypothetical question: if someone wanted to purchase the distributing rights for Shot on Shitio, what price would you start for negotiations? Hey, if you want to take the footage and edit it together yourself, go for it. I'll have to dig out the freaking script for it. There'd have to be a couple of inserts that would be shot that didn't get filmed. There'd have to be some effects shots that didn't get filmed. The wheelchair part of it is mostly all there, except for an important thing in the climax that would maybe have to be like an animated segment or something like that. Those tapes are around. I think they're sitting back there, actually. But it was never edited. It was never a trailer was edited, but the footage was all just raw footage. There was a funny joke at the beginning of it, and I think the footage is gone, where it actually starts out with a POV shot as if it's a found footage movie. It starts out with a POV shot with pretty good quality from like a digital camera, and then one character says to the other, put the camera down. There's no reason you should be filming this. Puts the camera down, and then it goes into the movie's not found footage, like I said. So then it goes into what it regularly looks like, and it's just this crappy VHS quality. That was a good joke, but I don't think I have that digital footage anymore. So it also kind of doesn't have an opening joke, which I thought was a really good joke. Honestly, it kind of sucks that's gone. Yeah. If someone wanted to buy the tapes, I would probably give it to them. And make sense of it what you will. MH Wheat Nation, can you spotlight The Crow for an upcoming remake? That's a good idea. Yeah, let me look and see. I'll have to look at the release date for that. I should spotlight The Crow, or the second one. Talk about a disappointment. But I usually start with the first one nowadays, so I'll look and see what the release date for it is. If I don't have an episode lined up to tie in with that release date. Yeah, I'll do The Crow. John Bondi, would your dad do a midnight screenings video? I never really asked, but maybe he would. I don't know. But I'm still not sure my dad actually knows what I do for a living. I'm kidding. He knows what I do. He does. I'm just joking. There's times where he, like me, have problems like describing to somebody else what I do for a living and how I'm able to do it for a living. So there's that. No, I don't know how he would. He's never really done anything like that on camera before or anything. So yeah, I don't know what to do. My dad is incredibly funny. He is. My dad is very, 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 very funny and knows his shit about movies too. So I mean, I grew up going to a movie like. Both of us go to a movie like every single weekend. So, and we'll reminisce too about just like crap I took him to when I was a kid. And I'll be like, I remember when you took me to see the Super Mario Brothers movie in 1993? And I remember him telling me a story back then, not long after the movie came out, where it was like the weekend the Super Mario Brothers movie came out. My dad's a big golfer, so he was on a golf course with his golfing buddies, and I guess most of the time it was them just probably venting about how each one of them had to take their kid to go see that over the weekend, and just being like, "Did you have to go see that bullshit too?" We're all just being good dads. On the one hand, it's like I can't wait for Jack to be dragging me to see some bullshit in theaters. But that being said, it would probably be something that I'm seeing anyway for my job. Nathan Palmer, do you know about a 1973 film called The Roommates? I don't, but I'll look it up because super chat question, so I don't want to just be like, nope, I don't, sorry, moving on. Let's see what The Roommates is. Isn't that a bad wasn't there what's that? Wasn't there a bad thriller from like 10 years ago that was called The Roommate? Let me look that up too. That's going to drive me nuts unless I look it up. Movie that had wasn't there a bad movie that had Leighton Meester in it? One of those like lifetimey thrillers that's out in theaters. I haven't seen that one either, but 1973, The Roommates. Heather, Beth, Carla, Bree, and Heather's cousin Paula are 5 lovely ladies who decide to spend their summer vacation at Lake Arrowhead. It was in 1973. They might be fine. I don't think there were slasher killers around in camps until the 80s. They should be good. While at Lake Arrowhead, the women hit the party circuit and get involved with various men in the area. You're just tempting for a killer to show up at this point. However, things go awry when the gals find themselves the target of a mysterious murder. See? You took a gamble that it was the early 70s. You played with fire a little bit too much. You ate the hot fudge. And you summoned a killer. There's one movie. I haven't seen that movie. But kind of want to now. It's reminding me of something else. There was a movie that I saw. It was called Deadly Daphne's Revenge. That sounds like an because I'm sure it wasn't originally called that. Because it sounds like it's like this I spit on your grave type exploitation revenge thing, where this movie was probably shot in the late 70s, maybe 80s, but so it's about these guys who are in an RV. They go on a trip. I think they're like work buddies or something. They pick up a hitchhiker whose name is not Daphne, but whatever. I was still riding along with it. Like, her name's not Daphne, but clearly this is an alternate title, whatever. I'm used to alternate titles not seeing the movie. Remember the remember the crazy Judge movie with Christopher Lee that was renamed Night of the Blood Monster? I'm used to this kind of thing. So anyway, the girl, she's like assaulted and everything, and except for like one amongst them is like the good guy in the movie or whatever, but so she is, and you think, okay, the rest of this is gonna play out, like I Spit on Your Grave, where it's revenge, and she kills each one of them. No, the rest of it is she wants to take them to court to sue them. This is not. I signed up for I Spit on Your Grave, not Matlock. They do hire like a hitman to go after her, and oh, what did there is a character named Daphne who's like one of the character's crazy ex-girlfriends who gets out of a mental hospital and then randomly shows up in the last act to like kill one of them. It was disguising this courtroom thriller as like it's Thriller, a Cruel Picture. That movie it brought back memories of that. The Roommates. I could do that on a double feature with Deadly Daphne's Revenge. John Bondi, are you familiar with Monique Gabriel movies? No, I am not, but I'll look that up too. Oh, she was Deadly Daphne. Of course I'm familiar with her work. Oh. Yeah, all right. Emmanuel 5. Yeah. And Bachelor Party. Well, she'll be in 1984 in film. I know who the. Yeah, okay. Deathstalker 2. For sure. I haven't seen a lot of these since the Cinemax days. They used to show Emmanuel 5 quite a bit on Cinemax. Emmanuel 4, 5, and 6 they would show a lot on Cinemax. So yeah, I know who that is. There might be a couple of songs in the Tox Box, or songs. There might be a couple of movies of hers in the Tox Box that I've forgotten about it. John Bondi, what happened to the Sad Panda theme song? I miss it. Oh yeah, that was good. He did that one for me. He did a theme song that he made, and it was in the days where I was using Believe It or Not, but would still use it for like ads or something like that. And then when I wasn't able to use Believe It or Not, I would use his theme, and then kind of dropped themes for a while. I don't remember why I really stopped using a credit sequence. I think there was a time where a lot of us just weren't doing opening credit sequences really that much anymore. Especially like after the blip days when we couldn't use like, Believe It or Not, and even the Sad Panda theme song has like a bit of Believe It or Not in there. But no, it was a fun song. And then I really just hadn't thought of themes in a long time until I heard the song from Getting It On and was like, I'm going to resurrect this song, damn it. Just like I did with the King Frat theme. I can't really make the King Frat theme the theme song to the show because it just doesn't make sense really in context except for using it as an end stinger. But I'm watching my video. That fits in perfectly with the show that I do. I even have a re-edit of it at the beginning of 1984 in film, and it's so easy to use footage of like a certain year and pair it with the lyrics to I'm watching my video, because 1984, the line the girl of my dreams is a line. Okay, so you show Zool open the door as Dana Barrett in Ghostbusters. I'm watching my video, the chorus. You show the Lambda Lambdas watching the girls on television. You show Axel watching the aerobics girls in Friday the 13th Part 4. The instrumental part at the beginning, you show John Shea jump off the bridge in Chicago and Windy City. So you got to get Windy City in there somewhere. Let me just make sure. I think that's it, people. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anything. Oh, here's one. One just came in. Hot off the presses. Oh, too soon. Don't say hot. Jet Screamer. Have you seen And God Spoke yet? It's one of the funniest mockumentaries I've ever seen. It's about making a movie. No. Let me look it up, though. And God Spoke. That's not coming up on. Oh. Is it this? That's called. Oh, okay. It's called The Making of And God Spoke. Documentary about making. Oh no, I haven't seen this. That sounds clever. From 1993, documentary on the making of a big budget Bible picture. It's a spoof. No, that sounds clever. Yeah, I'd watch that. Who's it got in it? I'm sure I know some of these names. But yeah, no, that sounds no, that one totally went by me. But no, thanks for the tip on that. I'll look that up. Okay. Think we're good on the super chats and everything. So, okay, speaking of the King Frat theme, I would be curious to check out to see that kind of spoof movie and something made in 1993 that is reflecting like a different kind of biblical movie as opposed to, like if that were to get made now, it'd be reflective of the current type of religious movies that are out there. It would be interesting to see like that kind of plot and parody from a 1993 perspective. Okay. All right. Well, I think we're getting out of here just in time because I don't know if it's freezing or not, but there's an error that popped up here. So, all right, people. Oh, we ran for a pretty good time here. So we're in for a good long period of time. This might be the longest one yet. This must have probably 40 minutes is maybe me reacting to the totally not cheese, by the way. All right. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. I'm going to get the choices put up there on Patreon for an upcoming Cinema Snob episode. And you can also vote on a poll for what movie I'm going to see in theaters tomorrow. Let's get that King Frat theme in here and stay snobby.